Most people underestimate what can happen in just 1 week. They assume transformation takes years, maybe decades, but that's not true. Real change doesn't require time. It requires a decision to break old patterns, to rise above distractions, to stop negotiating with laziness, fear, and self-doubt. 1 week of focus, 1 week of discipline, 1 week of intentional action, and the person looking back at you in the mirror will be unrecognizable. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about shedding the old version of yourself, the version that made excuses, hit snooze, avoided challenges, and drifted through life on autopilot. Everything you need is already inside you. What's been missing is urgency, clarity, and unwavering commitment. Today, you're going to take the first step toward that transformation. You'll learn how to reclaim your mornings, dismantle weak habits, train your body with purpose, fuel your mind with intention, and move, speak, and think like a new person, not in theory, in practice. This isn't about fleeting motivation, it's about strategy, creating a blueprint that rewires the way you show up every day. If you felt stuck, this is your way out. If you've been drained, this is your recharge. And if you're ready to become the person you were meant to be, this is your moment. Start by transforming how you spend the first hour of your day. This hour is sacred. It's not just the beginning of the morning, it's the beginning of your momentum. Most people roll out of bed, grab their phone, scroll endlessly, and give away their focus before they've even taken a deep breath or sipped water. By the time they do anything intentional, the day is already controlling them. Your first hour should belong entirely to you, not your boss, not notifications, not the news, not anyone else. When you wake up, you stand at the gate of a new day, a fresh opportunity. How you treat that moment sends a signal to your brain, your body, and your soul, whether this day matters. Give it meaning. Wake with intention, hydrate, move your body, even if it's just stretching or a short walk. Breathe deeply, write down what you plan to accomplish, speak life into your day. Don't mumble through your morning, command it. Create a routine that energizes, centers, and primes you to attack the day with focus. Once you own that first hour, the rest of the day begins chasing you rather than the other way around. This one shift alone can change how the world sees you, and more importantly, how you see yourself. You walk differently, think differently, act with purpose, and begin to live intentionally rather than reactively. Next, eliminate one weak habit today. You don't need to fix your entire life in 1 week. That's not the goal. The goal is transformation, which often begins with removing what's holding you back. Identify one habit that's draining your energy, stealing your focus, or keeping you small. That's it. One habit. This could be endless scrolling, negative self-talk, junk food binges, skipped workouts, procrastination, or hitting snooze. Pick the one habit that costs you the most and remove it completely. Your identity is shaped far more by what you stop doing than by what you start. Every time you allow a weak habit to persist, you reinforce the old version of yourself. That version has had its turn. The person you're becoming cannot afford to carry that baggage any longer. Breaking one destructive pattern creates space for a stronger version of yourself to emerge. Think of it as pulling a weed from your mental garden. Once it's gone, growth accelerates. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a long list of changes. Just identify the habit that whispers, "No one will notice." That's the habit keeping you small and eroding your self-respect. Replace it with something better. If you reach for your phone first thing in the morning, replace that with writing down your goals. If you constantly complain, replace it with a daily gratitude check. If you procrastinate, set a timer and tackle the hardest task first. Eliminating just one weak habit shifts your energy, raises your standards, and proves to yourself that you're in control, not your urges, not cravings, not distractions. That kind of power makes you unrecognizable, not because the world suddenly sees a different person, but because you do. Look in the mirror and realize you're no longer tied to that habit. You've started building something new, and it began with a single choice, letting go of what no longer serves you. Move your body like you mean it. A strong mind cannot exist in a weak body. How you carry yourself tells the world, and more importantly tells you how you feel about yourself. If you slouch, drag your feet, and walk as though life is a burden, that energy multiplies. Your thoughts, emotions, and confidence follow your posture. When was the last time you moved with purpose, strength, and determination? You don't need to spend hours in the gym or become a fitness model. What matters is movement with intention every day. Move to shake off old energy and step into a new rhythm. Go for a brisk walk, do push-ups, dance in your room, stretch, or breathe deeply while moving. This isn't about fitness alone. It's about claiming your space, shaking off weakness, and waking the warrior inside you. The strength you want in life begins in your body. Do it today. Do it tired, unmotivated, without the perfect playlist or the right shoes. Just do it. Movement creates momentum. The more you move, the more alive you feel. The more alive you feel, the more confident you become. Confidence is magnetic. It changes how people perceive you, how you enter a room, how you lead, speak, and live. Walk with certainty, train with fire, stand tall, breathe fully. This is how you step into the person you are becoming. Cut the noise. Protect your mind. What goes in shapes what comes out. You can't fill your head with chaos and expect clarity, confidence, or focus. Endless scrolling, gossip, news cycles designed to stir fear, they hijack your energy and distort your perspective. Your mind is your command center, and the quality of your thoughts is shaped by the quality of what you feed it. This week, control what you consume, unfollow what drains you, mute the voices that make you doubt yourself. Step away from distractions and the mental clutter of others' opinions. Not forever, just for 1 week. 1 week of clarity where you reconnect with your own voice, your own direction. Fill that space with better input, ideas that challenge you, content that inspires action, reading that sharpens your thinking, conversations that elevate you. Intentional consumption replaces mental chaos with focus. Perfection isn't the goal. Awareness and deliberate choices are. When you reclaim your mornings, eliminate weak habits, move with intention, and control your input, you begin to rewrite your identity. These are small steps, but when executed consistently, they create a ripple effect that transforms your energy, your mindset, and your life. The new version of you moves differently, thinks differently, and acts differently. You are no longer the person who waits for change. You are the person who makes it happen. Your posture, your decisions, your focus, and your discipline all broadcast the same message. You are in control, you are purposeful, and you are relentless. 1 week is all it takes to ignite this transformation. 1 week of focus, of intentional choices, of disciplined action, and you will not recognize the person in the mirror. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Your journey begins now. No excuses, no delay. The opportunity is in this moment, in the choices you make today, and in the way you decide to show up in your life. Everything you want is on the other side of commitment. Everything you are capable of is waiting behind the gate of decisive action. This week is your launch pad. Own it, command it, live it. Change doesn't wait, and neither should you. Because every time you choose better input, you strengthen the foundation of who you are becoming. And don't limit this to content alone. Think about the people you allow into your emotional space. Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they reminding you of your strength or feeding your doubt? Protecting your energy isn't rude, it's responsible. You don't owe anyone your attention, especially if they're not supporting your growth. This week is about rewiring your mind, refocusing your energy, and sharpening your purpose. Turn off the distractions and tune into your mission. Once you start cleaning up your inputs, something powerful happens. You begin thinking more clearly, moving faster, and believing deeper. Your goals sharpen, your values get louder, and the chaos of the world loses its grip on you. To become unrecognizable, feed your mind intentionally. Starve the distractions and fuel the vision. Your mind is too powerful to waste, and your future depends on it. Planning like a professional is essential. You cannot stumble your way into greatness. You won't become unrecognizable in 1 week if every day starts with guesswork and ends with confusion. Winners don't wing it, they prepare. They write things down. They live by direction, not by default. Every minute you spend planning saves hours of wasted effort. Planning is not boring, it's liberating. Without it, energy leaks, focus drifts, decisions get delayed, and the day slips away with nothing meaningful accomplished. Plan like your life depends on it, because it does. Every night, write out the next day. Make your goals visible. Put them on paper, in your phone, anywhere you'll see them. Know your wake-up time. Know your top 3 priorities. Schedule your hardest tasks. When you wake, review it like a playbook for a championship game. Don't wait for motivation. Take control. A clear plan eliminates decision fatigue, helps you say no to distractions, and ensures your priorities always come first. The magic of living by a plan is momentum. Suddenly, one focused day accomplishes more than a scattered week ever did. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop surviving and start building. That's how someone becomes unrecognizable. Not by working harder, but by working smarter. Don't confuse busyness with progress. Activity without clarity is just noise. A plan is your compass. It's how you rise above mediocrity, take life off autopilot, and reclaim it for yourself. Stop hoping things work out and start designing your days with precision. Live intentionally, not impulsively. When you plan like a professional, you move like a leader and execute like a winner. By the end of the week, the person staring back at you in the mirror will hardly resemble the person you were 7 days ago. Do hard things on purpose. If you want to change fast, this is non-negotiable. Do hard things intentionally, not by accident or because you're forced to. Growth comes to those who stop avoiding discomfort and start pursuing it. Most people chase ease, shortcuts, comfort zones, and escape routes, but avoiding hard things delays potential. Playing it safe shrinks confidence. Real growth comes from challenge, resistance, and pressure. This week, lean into discomfort, wake earlier, speak up when it's uncomfortable, push your body when your mind resists, start the project you've been avoiding, and face the fear. Don't wait for life to force you, get ahead of it. Comfort will never lead to greatness, but discomfort is the gateway. By embracing the hard path, you build mental strength, grit, and self-respect. Start small, choose one difficult task today and complete it, regardless of how you feel. The power is in following through, not in the size of the task. Push past resistance, and something shifts inside. You stop being controlled by feelings and begin being led by purpose. Eventually, easy tasks feel insignificant. You crave challenge. What used to intimidate you becomes your standard. This is how transformation happens. Not because life got easier, but because you became stronger, sharper, tougher. Others may not see the battles you fought, but you will feel it in your posture, your confidence, and your decisions. The hard path shapes the person you're becoming. Take it, own it, and conquer it. Talk like you've already won. Words are more than sounds. They are commands to your subconscious mind. Every sentence either builds strength or reinforces weakness, belief or doubt, progress or excuses. To become unrecognizable in a week, speak like the person you're becoming, not the one you were. How do you describe your goals? Do you say, I hope I can, or I will, I'm trying, or I'm doing it? One version is passive, the other decisive. One leaves room for failure, the other creates certainty. Change your language. Stop using weak qualifiers. Start speaking words that align with action, improvement, and victory. When your words shift, your mind follows. When your mind follows, your behavior transforms. This is not pretending, it's acknowledging your potential. If you've been lazy, affirm that version is gone. If you failed before, recognize it as training, not defeat. If you doubted yourself, declare that belief has returned. Speak life into your direction, not doubt into your delay. Avoid joking about flaws or hiding behind sarcasm. Speak with clarity, conviction, and strength. Extend that speech outward, encourage others, empower them. Your words carry energy. When you believe in what you say, your actions follow. Your posture changes, your presence transforms, and others notice. This is what makes you unrecognizable, not just actions, but the words that guide them. Each time you catch yourself speaking weakly, flip it, rewire it, and speak like the future version of you is already here. The faster you speak like you've already won, the faster you become the person capable of winning. Dress with intention. How you present yourself doesn't define your worth, but it shapes your mindset. Your physical appearance influences your behavior, how others treat you, and how seriously you take yourself. You don't need expensive brands or flashy accessories, but you do need purpose. Dress like someone heading somewhere important, someone building and growing. The way you look influences the way you move, the confidence you exude, and the energy you project. When you dress with intention, you send a signal to yourself and others that you are serious, prepared, and capable. Each step you take this week, from controlling input, planning strategically, doing hard things, speaking with power, to dressing intentionally, builds on the last. Your mornings, habits, body, mind, words, and appearance become instruments of transformation. Every choice, every action, every thought reinforces the new identity you're creating. You're no longer drifting, you're directing. The week ahead isn't just 7 days, it's a launch pad into a version of yourself that commands respect, radiates confidence, and moves with purpose. The old you fades with each conscious choice, and the new you rises, stronger, sharper, and unshakable. The power of these steps lies in consistency. You don't need perfection, you need commitment. Follow the plan, embrace discomfort, speak with conviction, move with intent, and fuel your mind deliberately. Watch as your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, your posture changes, and your presence transforms. By the end of the week, the mirror will reflect someone entirely different. Not because the world changed, but because you did. The transformation begins and ends with your choices, and the time to act is now. Your future self is built on the actions you take in these next 7 days. Think about it. When you're dressed sharp, clean, and put together, you naturally walk taller. You speak with more confidence. You move with purpose and certainty. Why? Because you're sending a message to yourself that today matters. You're telling your brain, we're not lounging, we're leading. That subtle shift in energy seeps into every action you take. This is about honoring the process. If you're working on becoming unrecognizable, your external presentation must reflect the inner transformation. Staying in pajamas all day tells your body, we're not serious. But when you dress intentionally, even if no one else sees it, you reinforce a different narrative. You show up ready to win. Appearance isn't shallow. It's not about impressing others. It's about building discipline, self-respect, and internal alignment. Taking pride in small details, clean shoes, groomed hair, neatly pressed clothes, elevates your standard. When your standard rises, your results follow. The new identity you're building this week demands intention in every aspect. How you move, how you speak, and how you present yourself. Think of your clothing as armor, not to shield you from the world, but to remind you of who you are within it. When you look in the mirror and see a focused, polished, powerful version of yourself, your decisions begin to mirror that energy. That's how change accelerates. You don't need a whole new wardrobe. Elevate what you already own. Before stepping out, ask yourself, does this version of me look like someone chasing greatness? If the answer is no, make a small adjustment, not for vanity, but for vision. The person you're becoming deserves to be seen, even if only by you. Dress like every day matters. Carry yourself like your future is already unfolding because it is. Let people feel your presence before you say a word. When your presence speaks, you're not just changing. You're becoming unforgettable, unshakable, unrecognizable. Build a 7-day streak of self-discipline. Discipline bridges the gap between who you are now and who you're striving to become. To become unrecognizable in 1 week, you don't need luck, you need momentum. Momentum comes from self-discipline, the ability to do what must be done even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Many mistake discipline for punishment. It's a gift, the ultimate form of self-respect. When you keep promises to yourself, when you follow through on commitments, you cultivate trust. That trust becomes power. That's where true confidence lives, not in comfort, not in hype, but in consistent, quiet follow-through. Your mission? Build a 7-day streak of self-discipline. 7 days of showing up for yourself without fail. 7 days of keeping your word. Wake up on time. Stick to your routines. Eat intentionally. Train your body. Avoid harmful habits. Complete tasks. Resist comfort. It's not about perfection. It's about pattern. 1 day leads to 2. 2 becomes 4. And before long, you're stacking wins. Each win rewires your brain. It whispers, "This is who I am now. I follow through." Transformation doesn't come from grand declarations. It comes from consistent, disciplined actions. This streak isn't for anyone else. It's for you. It proves your commitment. Nothing builds self-belief like discipline. Discipline is quiet, but its results are unmistakable. No one sees the early mornings, the temptations resisted, or the small sacrifices, but they notice the energy, the strength, and the glow of someone transformed. Motivation isn't required. Discipline doesn't wait for feelings. It only responds to decisions. Commit to the streak, stop negotiating, and internalize it. Say, it's who I am now. That's identity level change. And identity change is the foundation of true transformation. Track your streak. Mark each day. Feel the momentum. By the end of the week, you won't be the person who made excuses or ran from discomfort. You'll be someone stronger, sharper, and the old version of you won't even recognize who you've become. How you end your day is as important as how you start it. Most treat evenings like slow collapses, scrolling, snacking, falling asleep in chaos, and they wonder why mornings feel foggy. To become unrecognizable in a week, end your day like someone serious about success. Build a non-negotiable night routine. This isn't rigidity, it's intentionality. Your night routine bridges today and tomorrow. It locks in your progress, reflects on your actions, and prepares you for the next day. Begin by cutting off the noise, turning off screens, and giving your mind space to breathe. Let it settle. Take 5 minutes to reflect. What went well today? What can improve tomorrow? What are you grateful for? Small reflections rewire your thinking. Then set the next day in motion. Lay out clothes, prepare your to-do list, write down your top 3 priorities. Don't wait for morning clarity. Decide now while your mind is calm. Signal peace. Read, journal, or sit in silence with deep breaths. Show your mind that closure can be calm and intentional. Make this routine non-negotiable. Even when tired, even when tempted to collapse, follow it. This is who you are now, someone living success daily, night by night. This night routine becomes your anchor. Regardless of how the day went, end with purpose. Sleep knowing you close the day with dignity. That builds self-respect, the fuel for consistent action. From now on, no more careless endings, no more crashing into sleep. Finish strong, reset, recommit. Rise the next day with your fire already lit. Master your nights and your mornings multiply in power. Day by day, the transformation becomes permanent, predictable, and undeniable. You don't need a new year or more resources. You need a decision. 1 week, 7 days of clarity, discipline, and focus is enough to start becoming unrecognizable, not to the world first, but to yourself. Wake up intentionally, eliminate distractions, break weak habits, move with energy, speak with belief, step away from doubt. Each action chips away at the grip of who you were and builds the foundation of who you were meant to be. Not some random version of success, but your own authentic version, the one buried under years of delay, uncertainty, and noise. This past week challenged you to own your mornings, eliminate destructive habits, move your body, control your inputs, plan effectively, embrace discomfort, speak with authority, dress intentionally, build a streak of discipline, and end each day with purpose. This is the blueprint for personal transformation. It shifts you from average to exceptional, lost to focused, ordinary to unrecognizable. And here's the truth. 7 days is just the beginning. If you can do it for 7, you can do 14. If 14, a month. After a month, change isn't temporary, it's embedded. The world notices. Opportunities follow, not because of luck, but because of how you show up. Your mind, body, habits, and energy now operate on a higher frequency. But the real reward is internal. Peace from keeping promises, pride from seeing progress, joy from becoming someone you respect. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Let discipline and action speak. Let presence announce growth before words do. Keep going, double down, stay humble, stay hungry, and never settle for the person you were. Change isn't a myth or a someday idea. It's real, it's possible, and it starts in 1 week. 7 powerful days can redefine everything.